Hi, I'm Sean. I'm going to show you how to use my list of the best SaaS Webflow templates to help speed up your selection process. And after that, I'll show you how to assess the quality of templates on your own in case none of these are fitting for what you're looking for. All right, so let's get right into it. On the left, you'll see this list of criteria you can use to filter through these templates. So, for example, if you're just looking for the free templates I've got here, of course, you click it, and then you can see the 5 that I have put over here. And then you can click to add more. So let's say you just want the from $49 and under, right? So it'll show you those ones. Then you can also filter by type. So let's say you're looking for a landing page. Of course, landing pages are not as in-depth or include all the proper sections as I've noticed. But you can, if that's what you need, you can filter by landing page. Then there's also the multiple pages here, which is a lot more that I included because they have a lot of the sections you'll be needing for a higher conversion rate. All right, so when it comes to functionality, you'll see there are 2 filters I included here. So let's say you're looking for a blog or CMS included templates, right? It'll then show you the templates that have a blog or a CMS. But if you use the second filter for the CMS, then it makes it so that it's blog and CMS enabled templates. So that's how the filtering system works. Moving on to the cards themselves. First, you'll see that there's a picture of the template, just like a quick snapshot that I took. And then you'll see the name, the creator of it, and then this is where the important part is, missing sections. So in order for your SaaS website to have a higher conversion rate, there are specific sections that play a bigger part in that. So whenever you see something in missing sections, it's because it's missing one of those parts. So this one here isn't missing any sections. It has all of the sections it should have. Then let's say this one here, bento box, it's missing case studies and integrations, right? It doesn't mean that it's a terrible template by any means. Like I said, these are really great templates that you can use, but not all templates will have all sections needed. But if you do decide to choose one of these, you like the design, you like the way it works, just know that you should plan to add these sections. Or maybe you've identified through your own research that you don't need these particular sections. At least you know that you won't be missing any other vital sections when it comes to SaaS websites. Then after the missing sections, there's the functionality. So for example, e-commerce, CMS, and blog. That's what this template would come enabled with. I try to make it very simple to identify what sections you will need to add or what functionality the template already comes with, so that without having to open the template itself, you already understand what kind of work will need to go into it. The last thing I want to show with the cards is at the top right corner here, you'll just see the price in case you missed that. So when you click a template, it'll take you straight to its page on Webflow. You can view it in the designer, buy it, etc. the whole thing. So before I show you how to evaluate templates on your own, I just want to show you this button here. So when you click it, it'll open this form you can use to submit a template of your own. So if you have something you think is of high quality and you want it to be shown on this list, just fill in the form, I'll take a look, and then we'll decide whether it should be on here or not. Alright, so going into the guide on how you can evaluate templates on your own, you just need to click view guide there, and then it'll take you to this page here. So firstly, when you click this download short checklist button, it'll take you to this Google Sheets. And it's basically just a quick checklist you can use to check how a template is doing, right? So whether it has a style guide or responsive design, which is something we'll be going into over here, but it's just a quick way to keep track of how good a template is that you might be considering. Before we go into the technical features, you should understand that your template should have all of these. Otherwise, it is going to make your life a little bit more difficult. All right, so getting right into it, let's get to technical features first. So style guide, right? I suggest not using a template if you're new to Webflow. I suggest not using a template if there isn't a style guide. A style guide will really help speed up the process of editing a template to make it suit your brand. It allows you to change things like colors, fonts, etc. from one main page without messing anything up. So the next criteria is responsive design. You want your template to already be fully responsive, so you don't have to do that yourself. It can be quite tricky when you're new. It took me a while to fully learn how to do that. So here's an example. When you come view a template in the designer, you can use these buttons over here to change between different screen sizes. And this way you can see how responsive a template is. As long as it's adapting to the different screen sizes and it looks great, then it is responsive. So the next thing you want to check for is good navigation. So for example, the nav bar has links to all the core pages of the website. And then, of course, there are going to be other links in the footer that you can make use of as well. That'll show you that the website has good navigation. The next thing you're going to look for is a good structure. So click this button over here or press Z and it'll open up this list of the components in this website, right? So opening it up, you'll see that this is a good structure. I don't want to go into the specifics of what makes this exactly a good structure. It'll make this video too long. I did include a link here if you want to check that out to understand more about what semantic markup is and what makes this a good structure for a website to be built with. All right, so in this next section, we'll be checking the design and usability of the template. So the first thing here is to make sure the design is actually professional. You want something that's clean and modern, like this template right here. If you aren't sure if a template is good or not, you can just drop a link to it in the comments and I'll take a look. After that, you want to check to make sure that there are clear call to action buttons on the website, where they say learn more or buy now or whatever really. Don't focus too much on the text itself. What you're looking for is to make sure the design of it is very clear and easy to read and noticeable, because of course we'll be changing the text to suit what your call to action buttons needs to say. Then we want to make sure the template has a conversion focused hero layout. A hero section is that first section that people see when they land on your website. So for example, in this template again, this is the hero section right here. And what we're looking for is a prominent heading, a subheading, a button, and some kind of graphic like you can see down here. And I've also included like a simplified version of it. Headline, subheading, CTA, graphic. And that's it for design and usability. Now we go on to the important sections or pages that you need on your template. Quick thing before we go into these important sections, I just want to say that they are all recommended. They should all be on your website. But if you've done research and you see that you don't need a specific section, of course, go with that. But otherwise, you want to make sure your template has the majority of these. And if it's missing any, it's just 2 or 3, and you should be prepared to add them yourself. And to start us off, we have the product features and benefits. You need to be highlighting what makes your product different from others and telling people how it can benefit them. That's what this section or page is all about. So make sure it's there. After that, you want to look for company logos for social proof. I'm sure you've seen on websites where there's just a list of these logos and usually like famous brands. Of course, if you don't have famous brands, it's okay. This as long as you can show that other people are using your product. The next section you want to have on your website is the pricing. Of course, if this isn't something you need, you would know that, but generally, this is something that would be good to have on a SaaS website. After that, you want to look for a review section. For example, customer testimonials like these ones over here, as well as star ratings. All of that is really beneficial for really creating more trust in your product. Then another section is case studies. You want to use this section to show the success stories of customers who were facing a problem and then show how your product helped them overcome it. Integrations is another important section because it shows how your product can already fit into the current ecosystem of products your customers are using. And the last important section is the frequently asked questions. It really helps in addressing common problems and getting through that last barrier of resistances people might have to purchasing your product. All right, so functionality. Unless you've already determined that you're going to need any of these, you don't need to look for them in your template. So for starters, e-commerce. If you're going to be selling through Webflow, you want to make sure that e-commerce is part of the template. So for example, product pages and shopping cart and checkout process. Take a look at them and make sure that they are of high quality. The next functionality is blogging. If you're going to be blogging as part of your marketing strategy, then you definitely need to look for a template that already has a blog set up. And that's all that goes into evaluating a template. When a few templates have caught your eye, make sure you use this checklist to keep track of how good the template really is. If you need help evaluating a template, feel free to reach out to me. Just click my name over here and it'll take you to my link tree, and you can connect to me on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you feel like really.